We did it. Yes. Okay, let's freaking go. All right, we're going to cue this up over here. I'm just going to move it right there. Perfect. Oh, that's good. It's good to be back. What's up, mother truckers? Low energy, but we're here. This weekend is freaking crazy. All right, you know what? I'm just going to yell in a second. We're just going to get people in here, and then we're going to run this up. As you guys roll up, let me know what is going on. Tuesday. All right, so I've been MIA on this. I haven't gone live in like a week though. It's been a crazy week for sure. Look at these people piling in. I love it. What's popping? It's good. IG, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are back. We're back. Kennedy, what's going on? Jay Fitzy, my mom. Look at this. Look at this. My mother, my brother, Lisa, what's going on? Yeah. What's up, Mom? Hi, Mom. My brother, Angelo, what's going on? TikTok's live over here. Cool. Yo, it's cool. Look, you got 10 people. It's lit. As you guys are pulling up, let me know how your day's going in the comments. Haven't been able to stream for the last week or so. I've been traveling like crazy. But I'm excited to hop back on the mic today and record another live podcast. So for those who don't know, I flew to Seattle. Was it last Friday? I'm losing track of time, okay? But quick update from your boy. So last Friday, I flew from Florida to Seattle. I spent that weekend with my girlfriend there. So we were in Seattle for a few days. And then that Monday, we drove to Vancouver to see a couple other of my friends. Then from Vancouver, then we drove to Kelowna. And then for the last, I think, 4 days, was spending that time with my business coaches and mentors at PT Domination. So that was really incredible. They hosted a live event, which they do every few months, where they have guest speakers come in and deliver a bunch of presentations with extremely valuable information. And I was talking on my stories yesterday about that as well. So this episode is just going to be one of those topics of information because, I mean, there was so much. I took away so many valuable lessons from them, and I'm extremely blessed and grateful to do so, to be in a position to do that. So today's episode is going to be geared towards some of the things that I've learned, and specifically the topic of this one is that every day is extra. So I'm going to break that down in here in just a second. But I wanted to connect with you guys before I recorded the podcast because when I do that, I don't really like engage with you much. The reason being for that is I really like to just like hammer it home because I have a tendency to ramble. So like I want those podcast episodes to be like very short and sweet, concise, to the point, like 10, 15 minutes. But if it was me just like hanging out, I could be on here like 20, 30 minutes talking about the storm. And maybe we could do that after. Usually I just record the podcast and then maybe I'll do like an before Q&A if we get some time. But I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Look at this. Look at all these beautiful people. Amazing. All right, so I want to be respectful to your time. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into this episode. Now, I don't have the microphone, so this podcast is going to probably not be the highest quality sound, but whatever, we're going to get it popping. So with that being said, I'm going to hit this recording in 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, mother truckers? It is your boy, your favorite coach, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, after this weekend, I was just telling you guys before we hit the recording that I flew to Canada to go meet my coaches for their live event at PT Domination. So it was incredible to be. So basically, for those who don't know, it's a business coaching program for online trainers. So there's trainers from all over the world flew out, and we were there for the event. We were able to see Lane Norton speak live, which was incredible. And then also Dan Martell, those two guys were insane, plus my coaches. It was absolutely crazy and super, super blessed to be in that position. I was talking a little about that before we hit the recording. But basically, I was able to sit down in those rooms and listen to these people speak. And the amount of information that we were able to digest was like through the roof. And this particular episode and this topic is one that stands out to me tremendously. Not to say it's above the others, but I think it's very relevant to the last year or so of my life. And that concept is how every day is extra. And my good friend Caleb Zisk was on stage talking about this, and he was going into detail throughout his speech, and towards the end he was really hammering just how precious life is. He was going into his story and things that he struggled with, and I really believe that this single mindset shift could help you legit live a happier, healthier life forever. So I want you guys to really listen to the things that we're talking about today. Okay, now to rewind just this past, actually, no, you know what? I'll talk about my car accident first. Okay. So in 2019, when I was driving to my last job before I started my own company, I was literally just minding my business, driving to work. I was in my little 3 Series BMW, 2 hands on the wheel. I had my seatbelt on. There was really no music. I was going the speed limit, just minding my own business, right? Driving to work. And I think it was like a Tuesday morning, like 9 a.m., whatever. And I ended up getting rear-ended. Boom. And then, within like 30 seconds, I'm in a 3-car pileup in like a 5-lane highway, and like, if you live in the States, you can understand, like, we have like some of these like big intersections, and, there's a ton of cars that are flying at like a very high speed, so I'm just like driving my own business, right? And I get cranked, and then I'm in like this 3-car pileup, and then my car is like pretty much totaled. And the reason that I'm sharing that is because, like, in that moment, I was just minding my business, and you see how quickly things could change on a dime, and how, precious life really is. And I wanted to share that today because I think it's very easy for us to get caught up in the day-to-day activities. That's life. You have to show up for your job, right? You got bills to pay, whether you're in a relationship, you have friends, like whatever. We just become these routine animals that just show up day to day, right? And it's very easy to lose sight of the fact that all we have is the present moment. You can't change the past, nothing's promised in the future. And like, being around, my friends and coaches this weekend just really cemented that, that it's really just time is all we have, and the relationships that we build and the memories that we create. And, like, we have the capacity to really just try and become self-aware in the sense that, hey, like, I'm here right now, and that's all that matters. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what I did last year, the year before, and I don't know where I'm going. Well, I mean, I should say that I have an idea of where I'm heading, right? But you get where I'm going with this, and I wanted to highlight that because it really stuck with me that every day is extra. Like, the fact that you're even here listening to me right now speak is incredible. And I think we lose sight of that, right? Comment rolls in absolutely so much. Yes. Thank you for dropping that. Live in the moment, Miss Mandy, because that's what it is, And it just, like, I honestly was listening to him speak, and I was getting super emotional. I was like, damn, because the other side of this as well, I said this when I got the microphone towards the end of the event. I think that was Sunday night, so it's Tuesday. So 2 days ago, my coach Brian gave me the mic, and I wasn't planning on like sharing certain like personal things, but I decided to share a little bit about my story, and I got choked up and emotional to the fact that, for those maybe who don't know, who maybe have just gotten to my account recently, but I almost lost my dad this time last year. He just went in for a routine checkup, and they found something in his heart, and they were like, yo, we need to perform emergency heart surgery. So like, it was in, again, the blink of an eye that not only was my dad in the hospital and out of work, but then my mom was helping him, obviously taking care of him. And then, like, boom, both my parents aren't able to work, and like, I'm sharing that to just really give you guys perspective that things could flip on a dime, and you don't know what that looks like, and just carry on day to day, and things could drastically change within just a couple days. So going forward with this episode, my intention with recording this is just to give you, a little bit of perspective and light on the fact that, like, hey, like, we need to just be where our feet are right now. Like, it's not really about all these external things all the time. Like, staying in a state of gratitude could be very simple. And when you practice that, like, for me, it's just like giving thanks in the morning when I pray, like, hey, like, I have a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in. I got food in the fridge and clothes on my back. Like, those subtle tweaks make all the difference. Are you guys getting value so far? If so, drop some fire in the comments. John Michaels, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys are getting some value, let me know. Drop some fire in the comments. For those who are new to this podcast, you guys know that I record in 5-minute segments. So I'd like to pause it in between and engage with you guys a little bit. And I should have filled up this water bottle because now it's empty. But got to stay hydrated. That's also another key point. That is always important. But then, excuse me. Where the fire at? Okay, perfect. Ms. Mandy, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Fox Steph, thank you. I love it. Perfect. Great words of wisdom. Thank you, Cam. Am I saying that right? Camden? I don't know. I hope so. Hope so. Cool. And for those who don't know, again, shameless plug, you guys can find this podcast on Spotify if you type in SBF Fitness. I record all of these into my podcast. I think we have, I don't know, maybe just over 200 episodes now. I've been recording it for the last 2 years. They're usually, I like to keep them pretty short, like 10, 15 minutes. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything other than your time. You can listen to it while you commute to work, while you do your cardio, whatever. I really do believe there's an insane amount of, information in those that you guys have access to. And I've had a ton of guest speakers on there as well. So it's not just me. I've interviewed clients. I've had other coaches, other trainers. So there's really some valuable insights. So go and check it out. I know I've been sending it to a couple of you guys, but I really want to start promoting that a little bit more because I think it's important for you guys to have access to free information. Okay. All right. So I'm going to resume this, and then we're going to hammer this out. Okay. So going back to the topic of every day is extra, and it's something that I just really want you guys to sit in today as you listen to this, regardless of where you're at right now. Like I really just going forward, I think it's very easy to digest information and not really do anything with it. Like now we live in this age of social media where all we're doing is consuming every day. Like you could catch yourself mindlessly scrolling on TikTok for hours and not really bat an eye about it. And I wanted to break that down because whenever I do these, like I try and be extremely intentional with it. And the same thing that I've really adopted that approach as well, within my life and what I give to my clients over the last few years is like, hey, like it's amazing to talk about all these things and learn all this information, but like the separation between most people is the consistent action of actually implementing. And I'll show you guys a quick little insight on that as well. Something that has really helped me level up as just a human being is being very quick to implement the things that I talk about. Something that my coach really helped me with the last few years is like, hey, when you get that idea to go and do something, like you need to act on that immediately. And if you're a client of mine listening to this, like, I challenge you all the time when we have our team Zoom calls, we get on there and I'm like, cool, Amy, Jess, Kim, right? Like, you guys talked about XYZ, like let's go do something about it, make a picture in the Facebook group and post it for accountability. If I don't see it, I'll call you out and I'll deactivate your account. Like I joke around, like I'm never going to ever deactivate one of my clients' accounts, but I joke around to hold you to that standard because accountability is everything. I think there's a lot of people in the world nowadays who continuously talk about all these things that they want to do, but doing them is completely different. And the only separation between where you are right now and where you want to go is simply just doing the acts that are going to get you there every single day. And it's very easy to be complacent in the sense of like, oh, well, I want this thing, but I'm not willing to get up and sacrifice and actually put the time and work in every single day. And that's called fucking discipline. Now, that's probably another podcast for another day. As you could tell, if you're new here, like I have a tendency to rant, which is why I have prompts and I just fucking like to hammer it out and record it in segments. So you kind of understand why I'm doing that now, okay? Because I really do believe that. Like it's something that I really take a lot of pride in with my team and my clients is like, hey, like, let's go and act on this. And back to the original point about every day is extra. You can't change the past. So thinking about that, trying to work through that is actually a waste of time and energy. And if you really boil it down, all we have is time and energy. So you need to be selfish with that and protect that. Because again, nothing is promised. All you have is this present moment. So that's pretty much what I wanted to leave you guys with. And I think another key point that really just gives me a lot of peace is just surrender to the fact that everything will work out as it should, as long as you're doing the right things. Like I truly believe that if you are a good person and you have good intentions and you do what you're supposed to every day, then eventually things will work out for you. It's the problem where you try to cut the corners, you look for the quick fix, and those types of, I should say, the way that you go about that is what's going to really create your results, and like the things I like to talk about on this podcast not only apply to fitness, but they also apply to your life as well. And that's why I've become so passionate about, bodybuilding, training, fitness, and helping my clients is because how you do one thing is how you do everything, so if you're approaching your own fitness journey, your mind, body, and life with, a singular intention, then that's also going to apply how you do everything else. Right? Because if you're not able just to simply take care of your nutrition, then how can you expect to be a high level performer, CEO, like whatever, like, what I'm saying? Like it's truly something that everyone has the power and the capability to do so. It's just simply making that decision every single day. And then the other side of it too is not to continuously look at other people and compare yourself, because all it's going to do is rob you of your peace, but just continuously going back to the original point of being present in the moment, being grateful for what you have, so like that's something that I've really practiced over the last few years. Like I said in the morning, when I wake up and pray, I just be like, yo, I have a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in. And that's really all I need. And everything else is extra. Every day is extra. The fact that I'm even here right now and I have air in my lungs is a blessing. So I want you guys to really think about that and take that home today. Okay. Because some people didn't wake up today and you did, and you're listening to me and I appreciate you. So guys, that is it. That is all. If you ever catch yourself like bitching and complaining about the things that you don't have, I want you to really reflect back on this episode. Like listen to it 5 times. Okay. Take a bunch of notes. Okay. And then my coach just popped in. Cole, I see you, bro. That's fucking lit. I was literally just talking about you. But that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you got some value from that. Peace, love, and protein. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get it. That's lit, dog. That's lit. Yeah, but that's all I had. So I'll open it up for Q&A. If you guys have anything, I'll scroll through. But thank you guys for tuning in. As you can tell, it was a short, sexy, straight to the point. And I appreciate you guys spending a couple minutes with me here today. I'm going to scroll through the comments on TikTok, see if there's any questions that I could answer. And if nothing else comes through, I'll chop it in here because I need to get another meal in. But yeah, we had, I think it was 12 people on IG, then another 40 here on TikTok as well, and then a few more on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. So just really appreciate you guys taking the time here today. No questions on TikTok, and I didn't see anything else coming here. So appreciate y'all. Have the best day ever, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Let's get it. Peace. That is it. That is all. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thank you for spending some time with me. Oh, I thought I hit end here. Oh, I did. I did.